Hello everyone, welcome to my jungle story. I'm Jacqueline and today I'm going to be sharing my November favorites. I cannot believe that it's the end of November already. It's just gone by so incredibly fast. And at first I thought I wouldn't have a lot of favorites because there's not that much been happening really. I feel like my plants are not really taking a break, but they are slightly slowing down just like a little bit. But I have also purchased a lot of new plants this month. So I don't know, it was also really difficult not to put so many plants on this list that are new. I think there's about 3 plants that are new. I just couldn't resist. But I'm also going to be rating them. So it took me quite a while, to be honest. I have 10 plants for you guys and I'm going to be starting with number 10, which is my least favorite, but still an absolute stunner. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to, well, I could, but I'm not going to take this plant down because it's in its full glory hanging up, and that is the Philodendron Micans. This is actually one of Mitch's plants, but I absolutely love this plant. So recently, a little over a month now, we installed these Sansi grow light bulbs. These are the 15-watt ones. And ever since we got those lights, this plant started catching my eye a little bit more, and I couldn't figure out why. And then it hit me. All of the leaves have turned to the lights, and a lot of the leaves are also coming in a lot bigger. You know, it's obviously getting a lot more light, so that means it's just happier in general because this plant was not really getting the best light. The bottom of it was getting light from the mother grow light, but it was only really the bottom, and I did notice that the growth was coming in nice and big, but it didn't really stand out that much until we got these Sansi grow lights. The Sansi ones I think are very, very strong, and I was a little bit worried that the lights would be a little bit too far away from the plants, specifically in the corners, but that has not been the case because all of the plants in each corner have thrived and have been growing so much better than before. I mean, yeah, they're getting more light than before anyway. I just didn't expect such a huge change, and this Micans is just proof of that. It's just so stunning. It's been growing so much faster, so much fuller, like I said, bigger foliage. It's been catching my eye. It's just so stunning, and that's why this one had to be on my list. I'm gonna cross them off because I know me. I get so overexcited. I think I say this every time, but anyway. Okay, number 9 is actually a plant that I have right here with me, and that is this beauty. So this is the Alocasia Silver Dragon, and it is just this last month given me this leaf. How beautiful is that? I mean, I cannot. It is so stunning. It's so beautiful. It's sized up quite nicely. This was actually one that my mom gave me because mine did very sadly die. Okay, is the camera wonky? Yeah, it was wonky. Yes, this is one that my mom gave me because mine did die. I don't know what happened, if I'm being honest. It just died on me. This is just the cover pot, but it's in no drainage at the moment. And there is a lot of sediment at the bottom. But this plant I can see some roots that have rotten. Actually, no, that might not be rot. I don't know. But there's a lot of like healthy roots there. So it's obviously very, very happy. I've noticed that this one in particular just lacks, you can see the water is up to here. It does lack the water reservoir a little bit fuller because ever since I started doing that, because I've had this one for a while actually, it started giving me these amazing roots. So yes, I think this one does appreciate a little bit more water, and I can see that it's growing. It's starting to like make culms there. But yes, this leaf is just beautiful. I feel like this is such a, and the backs as well, like look at that. I don't know, I just feel like this is such a classic, and it's working on a new leaf there. Look at that. So exciting. So yes, this one is finally a lot happier. And like I said, it's since I've started doing that. And I'm kind of nervous to take it out of here because this no drainage system is, I think, been a little bit of a lifesaver, because I have noticed now that the heating's been on in this last month, because there was still some days in October that the heating didn't really have to be on. October was quite a warm month, but in November, the heating has definitely been on full force. I have noticed that a lot of my water reservoirs from my pond plants are drying out, so I'm having to fill them up a lot more regularly. And this way, I don't know, I just feel like it keeps it, you know, better, because I also have a lot of these ceramic pots that the inside, they have this like matte glazing sort of. It just soaks it up, so it dries out even quicker then. But yes, that is number 9. Love this plant. It is currently living on my little Alocasia shelf here, and it really loves the Sansi grow light. Yeah, you can see in the corner, it's very, very bright. You can hardly see the plants probably because it's so bright. It's a very strong bulb, that's for sure. Then number 8 is the Philodendron Splendid, and we actually have 2 Philodendron Splendid. So I'll put footage in of both of them because they are very, very big. I wouldn't be able to get them in frame, and I don't really want to disturb them and take them out of their spots. So we have 2 Splendids, and both of them have given us a new leaf. And funny enough, the one that we were going to part with has actually given us the biggest leaf. I thought that the one on the larger moss pole, it's got a double extension. No, not a double, it's got one extension. The other one is just the one pole. But I thought that one would give us a little bit of a bigger leaf, but it hasn't. It is not that much smaller than the other one, but I don't know. The other one is currently living on the north-facing window. It gave us a bigger leaf. So I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that the bigger one is working on the roots, because there's like more medium, you know, there's more moss to root into. So maybe that's why it's grown smaller. I don't know, maybe it's still got some inflating to do. I have no idea. But yeah, I had to put this one on the list because it's also one of those classics that we've had for so long. It is so easy. I think it's only had pests once I think we've had it for almost 3 years now. No, it's 2 years. It's 2 years. It's only had pests once, and that was thrips, and that was due to a very unfortunate unboxing that I did this year. Yeah, I treated it, and I've only had to treat it once, and it's been absolutely fine. I've also had to rehab it a little bit and restart with it, and also fine. All the cuttings are also doing really well. Yeah, it's just such an easy plant, and it's a classic, you know. It straight away gives that wow factor, and I cannot wait for my Glorious to be as big as the Splendid, because the Glorious also has just so stunning. It was really hard because I was debating on putting the Glorious on this list, but I decided not to. It's been, ever since I put it on the moss pole and potted it up, it's not done anything. It's obviously working on the root system and establishing in its new home. So, you know, I'm absolutely fine with that, you know, give it time. But yes, the Splendid, an absolute classic and just such a stunner, and still struggling on which one to get rid of. I feel like I'm just going to have 2 Splendids. I think that's just going to be the case. And funny enough, the Splendid is also actually technically one of Mitch's plants. So maybe I'll just keep 1 Splendid for myself. I don't know, but we don't really have the room for that. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to end up happening. At a certain point, we are going to just have to get rid of another one. Number 7. So this is one that's also on this shelf next to me. And this is actually very, very exciting. So I think I mentioned in my last video that I've been experimenting with putting certain alocasias into a alocasia soil mix, a DIY mix that I've made myself. because some of them I've noticed are just not happy in pon. And I am seriously starting to think that it's because I buy the coarse semi-hydro mix. And when I first started getting into pon, I was using Lechuza pon. I'm starting to think because Lechuza pon is a lot finer, that's why they were doing a lot better. I really like the coarse version because there's a lot of aeration in there. But at the same time, Alocasia, they can have very, very fine roots. Most of the Alocasias that I have more finer roots. There are some Alocasia that just get really nice juicy roots, like the Silver Dragon, but I'm trying to like find a balance. Ever since I switched from Lechuza pon to the coarse semi-hydro mix, something happened there. And some are not happy. Some are perfectly fine and they're not giving me any drama, but some are just not happy in it. So I'm either going to try the finer semi-hydro mix, because just Lechuza pon in general is a lot more expensive. I use the equivalent to that from Soil Ninja. They have a coarse and a fine mix, and I think I am going to give the fine mix a try. I don't know, all of the Alocasias that I put into Lechuza pon at the time, they did absolutely amazingly. I changed them up to the coarse one and they didn't do very well. So right now, I am experimenting with an Alocasia soil mix because I feel like I'm a little bit more experienced and I don't know, I feel a little bit more confident as a plant parent to try a specific Alocasia soil mix. I will talk a little bit more about that soil mix, maybe in like an Alocasia care video, because I have so many Alocasia that is probably going to be coming up at some point. So there are some Alocasia that I'm testing in this soil mix, and so far I've had really good results with it. So this is one that I decided to put, I actually have this one in pon as well. It's in my cupboard and this is what I mean. It has taken about 3 months for it to unfurl its leaf. So something's not right there. Something, I don't know. I feel a lot more confident giving it a try now than before, where I would just go out and buy a regular household mix that just didn't really work for me all the time. I ended up rotting all of those Alocasia. So the mix that I've made is still quite dense, but it has a lot more aeration in the mix. But I've potted this, so yes, I didn't say. This is the Pseudo Sanderiana. I absolutely love this Alocasia. I think it's so stunning. It reminds me of the, how do you say, chantrieri? Is that the right way? But it has like the open sinus, whereas the chantrieri doesn't. And ever since I put it in the Alocasia mix, it's popped out this leaf, and I think it's going to be huge. So this plant it was also very difficult not to put each and every single Alocasia on the shelf on the list, just because this is where I usually sit and I'm constantly staring at these plants. If it's not obvious yet, I love Alocasia. They are my favorite genus. But I put this into the soil mix about 2 weeks ago. Or was it less than 2 weeks ago? No, 2 weeks ago. It would have been 2 weeks ago today. Yes. So as you can see at the bottom here, wait, where is it? There, I can see a root there. This one did have a really good root system. I had this one in stratum for a very long time. Wait, I can see more roots there. I don't know if it's this, I mean, this pot is kind of like a matte finish, so it's kind of hard to see, but you can see some more finer roots coming out there. So yes, I cannot believe this was 2 weeks ago today. We're Wednesday today, and you guys are going to be seeing this video on Friday. I just cannot believe that. I really, really can't. So yes, I'm very excited about this one. I'm just excited to have this one in my collection again, even though I've had that one in pon in my cabinet for a very long time. It's just not done anything. I don't even have a leaf on that one. Well, I do now. It's almost unfilled, but it is teeny tiny. So I don't really know. And that was the mother plant of all of these corms that I have. And I have so many. I actually, no, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to ruin it. But yeah, I'm amazed by this. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and keep your fingers crossed for me as well that this works, because if this does work, I'm going to be so incredibly happy. And also something that I didn't do before is clear pots. So I think that might also help, you know, that might also save my butt with this soil experiment that I'm doing. And actually, this is not one. Okay, this is not one on the list. But I just want to give you an example of the soil mix. Look at this. Do you see that? And here at the bottom, and there. And I potted this up in the soil mix. This one was this the same time? No, this was a week before. This is 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And I can see all those roots. And this one did have a nice root system, but it wasn't huge. This one, and since then, it's also going to pop out its first leaf. This was one of my mom's that she gave me. And it's a really nice one as well. This one isn't on the list, but it's really nice and red. So yes, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. So far, I'm really liking that soil mix. Okay, this has been a plant that has been on my favorites list. Is this the 3rd time this year? Or the 2nd? I don't know. I know that it's been on the list before. But that is this beauty. So what is this? This has recently been... I bought it as a Monstera Variegata, but now apparently all of the macrophyllars are, what is it, Latifolia? I'll put the right name on screen. I don't know. They like to change their mind a lot with Hoya. Anyway, moving on. This one has just recently, I didn't know that this plant could get such big leaves. I really did not. But look at the size of this leaf compared to my hand. Like, are you kidding me? It's huge. This plant is pressed up against the south-facing window. But I just, ooh. Okay, this is very, very soft. This is a new one. Look at that. Yeah, I always look at the back of this plant, so I can really appreciate it now. But this plant is pressed up against the south-facing window. I said that, but we've not really seen the sun a lot lately. You know, it's just that time of year. But when it does get sun, I don't know. I honestly thought that my Hoyas would really take a setback because we haven't had that much sun. But that doesn't really seem to be the case. I don't know. They've still been growing like absolute crazy. There's one that is blooming for me, which is also on this list. And another one that's giving me a peduncle that I'm hoping that it's not going to drop it. I really hope it, because that would be the first time that plant is blooming for me. Follow me on Instagram. I'll post it on my story or something if that one does end up blooming, but I'll probably talk about it in a video as well. But I really hope it's not going to drop it. I don't know. I'm not going to get my hopes up, because I bought that teeny tiny this year. Maybe next year it will bloom. But the fact that there's a peduncle there, yes, this one. Anyway, this leaf, I can't get over it. It is so big, so big. And that new one that it's giving me, it's just such a beautiful plant. It is so beautiful. Wait, is this one? No, oh, wow. There's so much new growth on this plant. It just does not stop. Let's have a look at the root system. Ooh, wow. It's very nicely rooted, isn't it? Look at that. I find Hoya roots really, really fascinating. Well, not fascinating, just satisfying to look at. But yeah, I'm not going to have to repot this plant, but it's just this plant grows like a weed. It really, really does. And I really hope that it wants to bloom for me. I've been watching my Hoyas like a hawk, because in my Hoya care video, I found mealies. I haven't seen any more mealies on that specific plant, but the corner where that plant was living, there's been another Hoya that has got mealies. I literally pressure cleaned that plant yesterday to get all of the mealies off, and then I also treated it so that if there's any new mealies, if they bite into the plant, they will die. Yeah, I've been watching my Hoyas like a hawk, because I know from online that Hoyas can be mealy magnets. It's got a bunch of these aerial nodes that sometimes I'm like, oh, is that a mealy? But it's not, it's just the nodes. But yes, I love this plant so, so much. It's just I just love the foliage and the thickness of the leaf. They're just like, they're so thick and juicy. It does something for me, you know, it really does something for me. And I think it's such a stunning plant. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. It's sad that I look at the back of the leaves, but even the back of the leaves are very, very pretty. You can still see like the variegation through it. But yeah, love it, love it, love it. Next one is also a Hoya, and that I'm not going to be able to, I could, but I'm not going to take that one down. It is my Hoya Linearis. I rescued that plant I'm going to class it as a rescue because it was the last one there. I could tell that it had been there for a very, very long time. Some of the leaves do look a little bit damaged, but because it does have such fine foliage, is not really big, so the damage on that foliage is not very noticeable. But the reason why that one is on my list is just because I have fallen in love with that plant. I am so glad I decided to rescue it. Yeah, I'm just going to say I rescued it. It kind of like justifies it. But even then, I bought it this size for only 15 euros. That just blows my mind. And it looked very, very sad there. It was bone dry. Like I said, there was some damage. It had so many peduncles that I could see that were just like screaming out and wanting to develop. But because this plant was so beaten up, I couldn't resist. I really could not resist. I'm a sucker for a rescue, a sucker for a Hoya. And when I touched this plant and I realized that it was a fuzzy Hoya, that was it. I was sold. And the fact that it also had peduncles, that was also just like a little bonus. But I think even if it didn't have the peduncles, I still would have gotten it just because when I touched it, it was just like, it was meant to be, you know? There are 3 peduncles on there now and 2 of them have popped. So exciting. They are so pretty and I love this plant. I'm very happy that it actually kept on to 3 peduncles. Like I said, it had a lot. I think I counted them once and there were about 11 peduncles on there, but only 3 unfortunately survived because I had to completely strip this plant from its soil that it was in because I think it did have root mealies. I think it did. I don't want to say 100%, but when I repotted it, it was just sus, you know, it was something sus about it. So I completely changed it up to put it in my Hoya mix that I use. I potted it up quite a nice size actually. And I can already see roots on the outside. Like I said, I'm not going to lift it out the pot. I just want to let it be now that it's blooming and just kind of let it be because it's been through a hard time this last month. Yes, I rescued it and it's in a better home, but still, you know, still had to go through a little bit of a beating, but I can see a lot of new growth there as well, which is really, really positive. So yes, that one had to be on my list. I'm just in love with it. I'm definitely going to be taking some cuttings, maybe for my mom, because I feel like everyone just needs a Linearis in their home. It's just beautiful. And also like I said, I've been watching all of my Hoyas like a hawk because the one plant that I have been told that is a bugger with mealies is the Linearis. So I really do not want that plant to get it. I really don't. So I have actually treated all of my Hoya, even the ones where I haven't seen any mealies, just for in case a mealy does get on there, if it bites on the plant, it won't survive. So I've been very cautious about it. Next one, oh my word, another plant that I cannot bring over. Now, you know what? I'm just going to bring you to the plant. With this plant, I feel like I need to sit next to it for you to get the overall largeness of this plant because it is one of my largest. Is it my? No, it might be. It might be bigger than the Thai. Oh, I forgot. No. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm giving away like too much because my video after this one will probably be a video on my Thai constellation and no, I'll insert footage in that video to show you what I mean. I'm getting overexcited again. Yes, I'm going to bring you over to the next plant, number 4. Okay, God, it is such a dark, grim day today. Jeez. Are you kidding me? Like, what? I can't get over this plant. I repotted this plant in my big repot video. Yes, that's right. Okay, so there's actually 2 in here, and you can see this one here. This one was mine. And I potted them up together just because I wanted a big plant and a full plant, so I didn't really see the point of having 2 separate ones, because we had bought this grow light for this specific plant. So it was kind of like, well, then the one is going to do better anyway, you know, so might as well pot them up together. But yes, this one is definitely, I think, fighting for its life, to be honest, because this big mama is taking over. This was Mitch's Regal shield, and his one was bigger than my one. He had his in a bigger pot, but this is the latest leaf. I can't get over the size of this plant. It is, I've started noticing, I don't know if it's gonna pick up, but there's like some yellow spots. I think that's because of the drop in temperature, and there's a door right here that we go in and out a lot. Also with Lexi coming in and out a lot. So I think that's just like the draft that it's getting. It does also still have like a little bit of damage from spider mites, which unfortunately does show up quite easily on the Regal shield, but you know, I don't know. A part of me is like, is it because of this light? But it's only recently that it started doing this. So I think it is just the draft. You know, alocasias in general just don't like drafts, and a lot of tropical plants actually don't. I mean, in nature, in the wild, they are pretty used to consistent, warm, humid air. And when now, with the temperature changing, you've got cold, dry air, that's, you know, they're not going to like that. They're not going to like that. So that is very sad, unfortunately. This one hasn't started. But then again, this one also doesn't really have it that much. I don't know. I definitely don't think it's because of the light, because it's had this grow light for quite a while, and it seems to have been fun. Do I need to treat you again? Or is that just... I don't know. I know. It's just dust. Never mind. Pests have traumatized me this year. They really have. You move in? What are you? No, that's dust. That's dust. That's just dust. Yeah. Oh, no, that's actually balled up dog's hair. Never mind. Yeah, this plant does, unfortunately, on the bottom it does. This plant honestly goes for a beating, probably a couple of times a day with Lexi. You know, she passes here all the time. It's just been such an easy plant. I feel like it's just an alocasia that everyone needs to have, because it like restores your faith in alocasia, because they're so easy. I'm actually thinking, I have so many babies of this one that I'm actually really struggling to trade or sell. I'm just giving them away to people because I have so many of this plant, and I've never had a corm die from it. It has been such a resilient plant to pests, to honestly just everything, that I think I'm going to try and grow one, not this one, another one outside. I don't know, I put my Portadora outside this year and it did amazing. It did absolutely amazing. So I'm kind of like, maybe I should do that. I think I am going to try and do that just because I have so many. I might as well give it a try. But yes, this one had to be on the list. It's just one of my favorites. I could probably say it is my favorite alocasia. Yeah, I'm going to say that right now. Yeah. Right now, it is my absolute favorite alocasia. Okay, so we are on the top 3 now, and these 3 are actually new plants that I purchased this month, but I just could not put them on this list. They've just been such an eye catcher, and this one is very special to me because I won this plant, and I am so glad that I have an elbow in my collection again. It has been 2 years since I've had an elbow. This was probably yes it is. This has still been the most expensive plant that I've ever bought. So when it was all the craze, I remember I was pregnant with my firstborn, with my son. He's 2.5, oh, it was a bit more than 2 years, because I got it in May for my birthday, And the next month I gave birth. Yes, that's right. I was heavily pregnant and we drove out to this, to this garden center because I wanted to choose my own. And I spent 170 euros on one. It was, I mean, it was a beautiful one, but it very quickly went downhill. And it actually went downhill because it had thrips and I didn't realize it had thrips. You know, we had a newborn baby. It was our first child. So things were very scary and new. And yeah, I didn't realize that it had thrips. It had juvenile thrips. It kept on browning and I couldn't figure out why it was browning. But later on I found out it was because it, you know, had juvenile thrips, which is very, very sad. But I feel like now I'm a little bit more experienced with plants just in general. And I'm really happy that I can give this one a go again and that I won this plant. It makes it that much more special because first of all, I never win anything. Whenever I join any type of raffle or whatever, or you have to pick a card, I never win. I never ever win. So this is like the first time that I've won something, and the fact that it's an elbow, and I mean, this is a beautiful specimen. Look at that. I mean, yes, this was part of the workshop. So I went to a plant lovers event. I signed up for the whole day and we did a workshop. And in that workshop, everyone had to pull a card, and on one of those cards, it said Variegata, and that was this cutting. So it is a cutting. It is currently rooting in water. And as you can see there, it's already grown a little bit. That nice, juicy white root. That's very, very exciting. There is a little bit, I mean, yeah, this plant went through a little bit of a, obviously it got cut. It was then kind of thrown around in the greenhouse a little bit. Well, not really thrown around, but yeah, it was kind of put there. It wasn't just like cut, left to callus and then potted up. It was cut, walked through the whole greenhouse. So went through changes in temperature, then kind of moved to different spots. And then I potted it up in a soil mix, in their soil mix. And then the next day I took it out of that soil mix because it was so incredibly droopy and it wasn't coming back. It just stayed droopy. So it's been through a little bit of a time. There are some like points here that it's slightly starting to brown. But I mean, look at that leaf. It's stunning. Oh, water's very high, so I've got to be careful here. It's got 3 leaves. That's another leaf. And then this is the oldest leaf. Oh, that it's got. It's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And this one has its first little fenestration. Oh! I'm so excited about this plant to grow it again. I'm very, very excited. My mom is actually coming up to the point where she's going to have to chop her elbow. Oh, she's in top form today. Yeah, she's going to have to chop her elbow because it's at the top of its moss pole. But that one has kind of lost its variegation a little bit. Like it's not as variegated as it was in the beginning, which I don't really know why. I think I've done a little bit more research on it, and I think it's because, no, I haven't done research about it. This was actually told to me on this plant event that they said that apparently if a variegated plant gets artificial light, so light from a grow light, that it can lose its variegation, or, well, not lose it, but like the variegation will kind of start to die down. Whereas if you give it natural light, it will hold onto that variegation a lot easier. I mean, to me, that makes sense because natural light is obviously a lot better than artificial light. You know, if I had to choose, I would have a glass house probably with like a matte protection film all on it so that people can't see in or anything. Or even they have those glasses that you can look through on the inside, but not on the outside. That would also kind of be cool. I don't know. Anyway, my point is that they told me that on the event. And actually, funny enough, I was doing some research for my Monstera constellation, and I found a video where they talked about the exact same thing. So I don't know, is that like a thing? Is that true? Because my Tycon has got a south-facing window, and it's very, very happy, and it's got really pretty stable variegation. But then again, that's also the Tycon. I don't know, I kind of want to experiment and put this one on the south-facing window. But that means I'm going to have to give up a lot of space, which is not really possible right now. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I didn't know that. So if you've also heard of that, let me know in the comments, like, is that true? Is it, I don't know, I've heard it from 2 different people now, and both of those people were like experienced growers. So is that a thing? But yes, this one had to be on my list. Stunning, just stunning. I did not know that I needed this plant as much as I need it. So this is also a new addition. You saw me unbox this beauty. And this is the Anthurium Regal crossed with the Luxurians. And it is so stunning. So, so stunning. Look at that. Just like the lobing from the Regale. It's so beautiful. It's so, so stunning. Oh wow. I also, took a piece off this one and gave it to Mitch. Oh, you're a bit dirty. I need to clean the leaves again. That is the other leaf. And yes, it looks like a plant that does seem to, if you look at like the leaves at the bottom, it does seem to be one that sizes up quite easily. But there's actually 2 other plants in here. So there were 4 plants in one pot when I got it. And the one I have given to Mitch, and that one is unfurling. No, it's got a new leaf and it's expanding. It does unfortunately have damage, but it is a very beautiful leaf. And it's a really nice color when they come in. But yes, I love this plant. It's so, so stunning. I just love that it's like dark as well. It's definitely made me realize that I really do like dark anthuriums. I kind of thought that I would miss the veining because I do really like the classic veining that anthuriums have. But if I look at my Luxurians, that one also that one's a little bit lighter. That's more like a silvery blue. This one is more of a dark green blue. I don't know if it's really going to pick up on camera, but it's just so stunning. So stunning. So yes, this one had to be on my list. It looks quite different to when I unboxed it, but that's because I think I chopped about 3 leaves off. It also had a new leaf that was coming out, but that one was damaged due to transport. And I just cut that one off, and it's doing something else here now as well. And at the bottom, there's actually, yeah, like I said, there's still 3 plants in here, but there's another leaf there. And there's another, I don't know if really going to, there's another one there. Oh, there's another one here, but you're not going to see that. That's still teeny tiny, but yes. Look at those juicy roots there. That's all new. It's just, I don't know. Some anthuriums just grow really quickly for me, and then some don't. I don't know what it is, but I'm in awe of this one. And definitely, anthuriums really do appreciate a bigger pot. That is for sure. Because if I look at Mitch's Warocranum and my Warocranum, his one is in a 12 centimeter pot and mine is in a cup. He already has roots on the outside of his one and mine doesn't. But his one just recently wanted to give him a new leaf and then killed off that leaf. And my one is giving me a new leaf and it's not killed off that leaf. So I don't know. But I do think that it's kind of known that anthuriums do like to be in a bigger pot and like to be upsized. So I really need to give you a shower. Did I not clean you off when I got you? No, it was when I repotted it. That's right. Yes, that's right. I needed to give it a good clean, but I just popped it in my cabinet because it was not getting enough light on the kitchen island. But I love this plant. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's just so beautiful. So, so beautiful. And then the last one. So this is another plant that I got at that event at Plant Lovers Day. And that is this beauty. This is number 1 on my list. I'm in love with it. It has just given me this new leaf. This one here. I mean, just look at that. I'm in love with it. I have given it a moss pole, but I'm kind of thinking, do I really want to put it on a moss pole? I don't know. I don't really need this one to size up in leaf. And that's only the real reason why I would give it a moss pole. But at the same time, oh no. Okay, I need to take out water out. I don't know if I want this one on a moss pole anymore. I don't know. I'm still very indecisive about it. But yes, there's already a new leaf coming out here. Yeah. And yeah, this one's not even like fully hardened off yet, you can see. But I'm so glad that I went for this plant and I got it, because this was the most expensive one. This was 39 euros. I said in that video, I really liked that I was able to pick my own and that I didn't just order one online, and I did not find any online that was cheaper than that. I think the cheapest one that I found was 37 euros, but that one was tiny. It only had leaves that were like, oh, you're not really like this big, like that big. So I was very happy with that price. Obviously, it was a pop-up sale, so their prices were a little bit lower, because if you look on the website, I think it's a little bit more expensive. But this one is just such a beautiful specimen. It is so stunning, and I just also feel like it's one of those classics. I don't know, it's becoming a lot more like readily available here in Belgium, and I really love my Florida green. I actually recently chopped that one up because I want to put that one on a cork pole, and I really love that plant. So I wanted to give the Florida Beauty a try, because the Florida green is so incredibly easy. So I feel like if that one's easy, even if this one is half as easy as that one, I feel like it's still going to be a really rewarding plant to grow. What is that? Fluff. Yeah, that's the only other thing, is that with heating on, I've noticed my plants are getting a lot more dusty, and then I'm having to do a lot more cleaning of leaves and dusting. I just sometimes use a Swiffer specifically for my plants. Just because I mean, it's normal. You know, if your heating's on, it is going to get a lot more dustier. I'm so happy that I went for it. So happy. I think it's such a stunning plant. So I would definitely recommend. This was this unfurling when I got it? I think it was still like, you know, like wrapped up when I got it. So far, I've had it for what, two weeks? And I just absolutely love it. I think it's such a beautiful plant. And also one that I didn't know that I needed as much as I do. But yes, that is number one on my list. Have I gone over everything? Yes, I have. So yes, those are my top 10 favorites. Like I said, it was very difficult not to put every new plant that I got this month on the list. I'm specifically looking at the Philodendron Medusa. No, don't think about it too much, because I think I could put 20 plants on this list. I wanted to keep it to 10. You know, 10 is a good number. So yes, those are my favorites of November, and I cannot believe in less than a month it's going to be Christmas already. It does not feel like it. It really doesn't. Today or tomorrow, I'm going to be doing my Christmas decorating, and I'm also going to film it. I thought it'd be, you know, really fun to do a decorate my planty home with me. I'm not going to put a tree. Well, we're going to put a tree outside, but we don't have room for a tree inside. And sorry, but my plants come first. So I'm going to be decorating plants and kind of incorporating my decorations within my jungly home. And it's going to be really fun. Stay tuned for that video. That might be sometime next week, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But it's a lot of... I've mentioned before, we're renovating our attic. It is a huge box that we have to bring down, but we're also in the process of clearing out the attic for them to start working on it. So it's, I don't know, it's a little bit of a stressful time at the moment. And it's, you know, only so many days in the week that we can do it because of our kids. They only go to daycare twice a week, so it's just a little bit of a juggle act. And we are in the season of our kids going through a little bit of a phase and a difficult time. So, you know, I'm doing what I can to survive at the moment. And my plants are a big part of that sanity, to be honest. I just the other day also packed my first like Christmas present, and that also gave me like a lot of joy. So as much as I feel like I'm going through a hard time at the moment, my plants have really been my salvation. And doing these favorites videos really like bring me like down to earth again, and not like up in a crazy cuckoo world. But yeah, they've been my salvation. They really have. So let me know about your November favorites. I would love to hear. I love making these videos. I think it's just amazing how your favorites change every single month, and so much can happen in a month with plants. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I feel like I've come to a point in my collection that I'm loving the jungly vibe. And it's definitely going to be difficult incorporating Christmas decorations into this home, that's for sure. So that might be an interesting video, you know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Geez, Lexi, I think it's because I'm talking. She does that as well when the kids are here. Or whenever I say the word no to my kids, then she also starts doing that. It's like she wants to say, hey, I'm here too. I'm here too. But anyway, I'm rambling. But that's just me. That's just, you know, my channel. I'm sure that if you've been here for a while, you're used to that. But if you are new here, thank you for watching this video. And if you are not new here, thank you so much for coming back and joining me on my journey again. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do. It's just, you know, it's for free. It's a click of a button. You don't really have to do much else than that. You just have to watch my videos. That's the #1 way of supporting me. But yes, I really... Okay, she's like moving stuff around. That means there's a mouse. I'll let her do her thing. She has fun with that. Let her be the protective dog she wants to be. I completely lost my thing then. I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying? What was I saying? Yes, just subscribe to my channel. You know, the #1 way of supporting me is to watch my videos, share my videos, comment on my videos. You know, engagement is the way to help me out. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.